right, so our do now here for a little review before our exponents quiz tomorrow, just to get us warmed up. We're going to simplify. First problem, 4x squared y divided by 10x squared y squared. So I'm going to rewrite that as a fraction so it's easier to see. First thing I like to do here is look at my coefficients, 4 over 10. I know they have that common factor of 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times. Okay? Then I'm looking to what's going to cancel. Well, x squared over x squared, those both cancel out, so those are gone. Y over y squared means we can cancel 1y. There'll be 1y left over in the bottom, so we get 2 over 5y. And there we are, fully simplified. Number 2, a little more complicated. Yes, we have those coefficients, right? 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and then we've got to worry about this negative exponent. I want to realize the base of that negative exponent is just m, okay? Only m, right? So that's going to move down to the denominator. Everything else is going to stay the same. So in our numerator, we'll have 3x to the 15th. Then in our denominator, 1m to the 4th, m to the 5th, x to the 10th. Now we can combine that m to the 4th times m to the 5th, which will give us m to the 9th. And then we think about canceling here. We've got 15 x's on the top, 10 on the bottom. We can cancel 10, which will leave 5 left over on the top, right? And I'm just visualizing, that shouldn't be there. Visualizing crossing out all of those x's of what would cancel. So our final answer, 3x to the 5th, m to the 9th. So now we're going to go over some key things we should know for our exponents quiz and just some, some housekeeping stuff with it. I wanted to go over some of the different directions we could see on our exponents quiz and what you'll see on the review sheet. One is express as a product of factors. And when we see that, we really want to realize that that means expand. So we're going to expand this out to show all the multiplication. In my first step of expanding, right, we've got that outside exponent of 2. Its base is this whole thing in the parentheses. So that means that it's 3x squared y to the 3rd times itself twice. 3x squared y to the 3rd. We still have exponents, which means we still have repeated multiplication that we can show. So this still needs to be expanded further. So now we can say that this is 3 times x times y times y times y times 3 times x times y times y times y. Now we have expanded completely. We have expressed as a product of factors. Some people might want to take it a step further and reorder and make it 3 times 3 times x times x times x times x and then times all the y's. That's fine, but this is a full credit answer. Partial credit, full credit. One of the other sets of directions we can have is simplify, which we should remember when an answer is fully simplified, there are no exponents with number bases, no parentheses, no negative or zero exponents, no same bases, and no power to a power. Okay? So this one here, we've got a lot of power to a power, so I want to go in, write in my little invisible exponent of 1, and remember our rule, keep the base, multiply our exponents. So it's going to be y to the 6th, x to the 4th. Now with this negative 3, remember, we have to put that in parentheses here, because when that's expanded, that's negative 3 times negative 3. Okay? Then as we simplify, right, we need to know that that's really negative 3 times negative 3, which gives us a positive 9. So we have positive 9, x to the 4th, y to the 6th. Oh, you didn't see that. 9x to the 4th, y to the 6th. Our last set of directions I wanted to go over were evaluate for when x equals 3 and y equals 2. And with this set of directions, we're going to substitute in using our parentheses and then simplify. Okay? So when we do that, we've got 5, now x squared, so I put in our 3 to the 2nd times 2, and then the whole thing to the 2nd power. We're following our order of operations. 3 squared is 9, so that makes this 5 times 9 times 2 to the 2nd power. 5 times 9 is 45, times 2 is 90, so that's going to be 90 squared, which is 8,000. 100. And there we go. We evaluate. One of our always valuable skills with exponents is being able to identify the base of an exponent. So let's just take a second to review that now. So we have 5x to the third. The base of that exponent of 3 is the x. That's what's going to get repeated in multiplication. The 5 is just the coefficient, right? Because it's that 5 times x to the third. With negative x to the fourth, the base is also just x. That negative is a coefficient of -1. So if we were to expand, it would be -1 times x times x times x times x. However, negative y squared with parentheses, now the base is negative y. That's showing us grouping that it's negative y that is being repeated in multiplication. We have 8x squared y to the negative third. I want to realize that the base of that exponent of 2 is x, and the base of the exponent of the negative 3 exponent is just the y. In 6ab to the third, the base of the exponent of 3 is just the b. If we were to expand, only the b would be getting repeated in multiplication. However, xy to the third power with parentheses is showing us the base is xy. So that is what's getting repeated in multiplication. Some questions you might have, like, is there an answer key to the review sheet? Yes, it's on Google. When is the review sheet due? Today, by 9 p.m. When is the exponent quiz? The exponent quiz will be available tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it is due by 9 p.m. Any late submissions will be penalized. You will lose points. Tomorrow's quiz is one assignment on Google Classroom. You're either doing the Google Doc or the PDF in Kami. There is no Google form for this because Google form doesn't do exponents well, so we're just going to do the Google Doc or the Kami. Some of you may be asking, how do I submit my work for the quiz? Well, you have two options. One option is to open the PDF in Kami and write your work, right? That's if you have a touchscreen device. I don't want to see typed work. Some of you put typed work in for classwork like this where you're using the little carrots. I can't tell what's in the numerator, what's in the denominator. I put comments on your classwork from the week telling you you should handwrite it. So please don't type the work with the carrots and everything. You're not showing enough work. Okay. Your other option, if you're going to do your work on a separate sheet of paper or if you're going to print out the entire quiz, is to submit your work in the Google Doc. With that, you can insert images. You can insert an individual image of the question, or you can insert the image of the full page. But your image must be easy to see and read. Otherwise, I will not give credit for it. If I have to go into your Word doc and resize your image or rotate it so I can read it, I'm not going to give you credit. After you insert an image and before you submit your quiz, you should give it a look through to say, can Ms. Dasso see this picture? Can she grade this picture of my work? Is it clear enough? If not, take another image. Fix it, okay? With the multiple choice, you don't need to show work. It's multiple choice. You can just type in your answer there or on Kami, just write in your letter choice. All the other questions are going to require full work shown. You may be wondering what resources you can use during the test. Well, it's open notes, so you may use all of your math notes. And you may use a calculator. You may not ask anyone for help. You may not use Google. You can use your math resources and a calculator. And our math jokes for mathy folks is a visual one. What are these? Complementary angles.